Okay, so they stand you up at gunpoint and they begin to zip tie your hands in front of your body. Do you A, resist and fight, or B, allow them to zip tie your hands in front of you and pressing your wrists outward so that the restraints will be looser?
For me at that point, I'm going to resist and fight. I'm not going to let them tie me up. Maybe that'd get me killed, but I just wouldn't. At that point, I'm sure the answer is B, but for me, I'm still picking A.
Yeah. Well, it's you're right. It is B. I get it though. It's not our nature to,
be taken.
Right? But sometimes you have to temporarily surrender, knowing that, hey, I know how to get out of zip ties.
Yeah.
And once again, it's a distraction. It eats up time, and it allows you. Time is a big deal because time gives you opportunities. Increase survivability.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I get it. Like, if you want to fight, you fight. But you can eat up some time and set yourself up once again for success by being taken and zip tied.
Yeah.
And just so people know, I've talked about this several times. Zip ties, is nothing but a very fragile ratchet system that can be broken the same way you get out of tape. But if it's the thick, heavy duty ones, then you just got to use a shim of some sort. You hear about bobby pins and other things you can shove in between, the actual ratchet mechanism in the teeth, and it just slips right off. So you can get out later. All right. No, it didn't stall that time. Okay. They take you outside and they begin to force you into the back seat of their car. It's a little 4-door Honda. So do you, A, take off running down the street, or B, play it cool and get in the car?
A.
So yeah, he's going to go ahead and...
If I'm not going to let him tie me up, I'm sure not going to fucking get in their car either. But.
So yeah, Mike, going with A, he's going to run down the street. The answer is B, play it cool and get in the car. Once again, when you're outnumbered, outgunned, taking severe blows to the head, whatever's going on, sometimes you have to temporarily surrender so you can live another day. The last thing you want to do is get shot in the back or knocked out and then wake up somewhere where you don't know where the fuck you are and with the real restraints in place. It's a Dexter moment. You don't want to be butt naked, wrapped up in, plastic wrap with Dexter cutting your cheek so he can collect your blood and put it on the slide.
Fucking kidneys in an ice bath.
Yeah. But Mike is fighting all the way.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether he's...
Well, not all the way. I'd get down initially. I wouldn't fight him. But again, it's so many, let's say, not to get too off track, but let's say there's 2 doors, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but let's say I'm at the end of the line right by one door and they come in the other door. I'm just going to get the fuck out of the door.
Yeah, of course.
I also always have a fucking gun on me, so I would get down and I would slowly pull my gun out, wait for both of them to have their backs turned, and I would shoot both of them.
There you go.
But, and I get that, these are a little more 30,000 foot view questions, but yeah, I'm not letting anybody zip tie me, and I'm not getting in anybody's car fucking unwarranted. I'm too arrogant of a fucking prick that way. I'm just not doing it.
But I'm with you, man. If you can fight and you have the ability, then you should. But there's a lot of people out there that just don't and think they could.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the delineating difference there. The doors of the vehicle are locked. Do you A, unlock the door and jump out of the car as soon as it slows at 20 miles per hour? Or B, play it cool for now, since the cops should be showing up soon?
In the way that this is going, I'm going to say B is probably the answer that they say to do. But
there you go. Yeah, look at you. You're back on a winning streak again. Yeah, so, playing it cool, once again, you are now keeping these guys at bay from everybody else, really. At the end of the day, you can look at it the 2 ways, and there's no right or wrong. Once again, it goes back to skill and capability and what you got the balls to do. Jumping out at 20 miles per hour, though, I think you picked the right one either way, because that would be no fun.
I'm going to go C, slide my shoes off, put my feet up into the driver's seat, and try to foot jerk off the driver and calm him down.
There you go. Yeah, I think that would actually work.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the next one is here. All right, so now the cops are chasing you guys, all right? And you're in a high-speed pursuit along the highway. Do you A, reach up and rip the e-brake, or B, beg the robbers to slow down because it's scary?
Yeah, neither. I'd probably just let it happen. But I guess if you have to pick one of the two, I'm not going to beg them to do shit. I'm not going to be in the car. But I'm surprised that's the answer actually. But
based on the others,
yeah, it's don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. Okay, fuck with them.
Right. Right. Yeah. Now you're at the point where maybe you can help out because you got backup behind you.
Yeah.
But yeah, reaching up and grabbing that e-brake. I mean, if anybody knows or been able to do this, I mean, any modern car doesn't even fucking have an e-brake anymore. It's kind of irritating.
Yeah.
And it's all electronic and computer driven now. But once again, it's old school Honda. So you're fortunate enough where you can reach and grab that handbrake. It's going to lock up only the rear wheels. So depending on the driver and which way he turns the steering wheel could really, especially at high speed, you're looking at hurting everybody to include yourself if you start tumbling down the road. So be careful with that. The two robbers are knocked out, right? Because, you pulled the e-brake, you went tumbling down the road. So now you attempt to exit the vehicle, or B, take their guns.
I mean, I'm going to take their guns, but I think most people should get the fuck out of the vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, getting away from the vehicle, you don't know, is it going to catch on fire? Is it going to blow up? What's going to go on? Some kind of crazy Hollywood scene. And just get distance equals survivability. But taking their guns, is also an option, because if you're a trained person and you think you can do it in a timely manner and get yourself to safety at the same time, go for it.
I mean, so to me, like, take their guns and then run. That way you're hooking the cops up if they're not walking up getting fucking ambushed, But
well, that's the other piece, is do the cops know you're a good guy or a bad guy running away from the vehicle with guns?
Yeah, well, no. So I mean, like, take them, fucking, just get them out of their hands, out the side of the vehicle or whatever, and take off running. That way they're not in their fucking hands or laps or whatever, But
it's a good point. And we know, cops, sometimes you got some good ones out there.
Yeah. I mean, they may shoot you for fleeing, who fucking knows?
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, you got to there's a lot of things to take into consideration when you don't want to be running with guns in your hands, but at the same time, you need to get the guns away from the bad guys. All right, so you leave the robber's guns. Okay, you crawl out of the wrecked vehicle. Of course, we're setting you up here a little bit. So do you A, run to the cops, or B, show the cops your hands and say, I'm unarmed?
Gotta go with B.
They took me hostage. Yeah, obviously you don't want them shooting you.
Bum rush the cops.
They're like 18-year-old Marines with fucking 50 cal sometimes. You know what I mean?
I know it. Fucking I know it.
And good job, buddy. You survived barely because you missed 3, which is a 70.
Is that right?
Yeah, 70%. So
it's still passing.
You, Mike Ritland, have survived this podcast. So good job, buddy. You're listening to Can You Survive This Podcast? Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, and share on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.